Hey finders, and welcome back to Fortune Finds. Today we're going to be doing a foundation, skin tint, tinted face oil wear test video. I finally got my hands on this. This is the Kosas Tinted Face Oil. This is clean beauty, cruelty free, all that kind of good stuff. It has a ton of really awesome oils in it, which are going to help to nourish our skin, brighten our skin, diminish wrinkles, and all of that good stuff. So it's kind of like a skincare foundation, skincare makeup. So I'm really excited to try this. I am currently on the hunt for just an easy breezy 1, 2, 3 kind of base to my face for the spring and summer months. I live on the East Coast, so the second that it breaks 50 degrees, I just want to be outside. So I just want to do 1, 2, 3, throw something on my face, easy breezy, kind of just even out my skin tone, get on with the rest of my day, and just spend my best life in the sun outside. So I'm on the hunt to find a really good lightweight, light to medium coverage kind of foundation. It could be a skin tint, a BB cream, a CC cream. So if you are interested in finding the same kind of base for your face, then you and I can be on this little hunt together. Like I said, I'm doing a wear test, so I'm going to be aiming to wear this for a minimum of 8 to 10 hours today. I'm going to be checking in with you throughout the day, whether I'm using my camera or my iPhone, so you're going to get different angles. Right now I'm in front of the beauty lights, but I'm going to do a little bit in the car, a little bit outside, so you'll get natural lighting. You're going to see this skin tint in its glory. At least I'm hoping that it goes that way for me. So I'm very excited to hop into this video. Before we do, make sure that you subscribe and ring that bell. This way you get a notification every time I'm uploading a new video here on my channel. I do upload twice a week, either Thursday, Friday, or Sunday. So you will get 2 videos a week on any of those 3 days. I would love to have you. Make sure that you subscribe, ring the bell, like I said, and yeah, let's go ahead and just hop right into the wear test. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the 2 products that I have been using every day on my face that I absolutely have fallen in love with. They're both from the brand Murad. I've been loving their Resurgence Rapid Collagen Serum, and then I layer the Hydration Perfecting Day SPF 30 cream on top of that. Normally, I would just go in with the face product that I'm using. I wouldn't use a primer underneath it, but guys, I am genuinely on the hunt for a product that is just like my soulmate. And I feel like that sounds so dramatic, but I'm just looking for a product that I can layer over top of my everyday serum, my everyday SPF. So again, I'm gonna go in with my Rapid Collagen Infusion Serum. I love this. It dries down almost like silicone-y. It just like blends into my skin. It doesn't leave a heavy layer, which you guys know, I don't like to wear a lot of layers in the daytime because I have very, sensitive skin, but this stuff just, it like absorbs into my skin instantly. You can't even feel it. Perfecting Day Cream with SPF 30. And I'm gonna use a significant amount. A lot of the time I will go ahead and just throw in a little bit of foundation with my daily SPF. Sometimes they mix together well and sometimes they don't. A lot of the times if they don't mix together well, the problem is that you need to put the sunscreen on first and then let your skin absorb that for a minute, which we're gonna do in just a second. Sometimes it's just a matter of letting the product dry. So let your face cream dry and then throw on your foundation or your tinted balm, your BB cream, your CC cream. There's so many things that one can put on their face. It's really wild. It just gives a really nice glow. And this sunscreen isn't too heavy. I wouldn't say it's as light as my Neutrogena Skin Even one that has SPF 30 in it, but it's pretty light and it's very hydrating. I would say it's more hydrating than the Neutrogena one. The product of the hour, the Kosas Tinted Face Oil. I got the shade 04. This is light with golden undertones. If you watched my shade matching video, you guys know I am neutral, but I can get away with a little bit of gold, a little bit of yellow, so I chose this one. Love this packaging. It's not glass, it's not heavy, so easy to go. Just throw it in your bag, 1, 2, 3. I love me a good package, so that sounds highly inappropriate. I'm not gonna say anything. Featherweight light to medium coverage foundation and deeply hydrating skin elixir. It says shake well before every use. Gently blend 2 to 4 drops into the skin using your fingertips. When you're using a product that doesn't have a lot of coverage, but you want a little bit more coverage than it offers, use your fingertips because that's gonna give you the most coverage. And you're also going to waste the least amount of product. For those of you who want fuller coverage, it says to use 4 to 6 drops. So 2 to 4 for For it's meant to be kind of medium coverage. For fuller coverage, you use 4 to 6. Clean at Sephora. Kosas is a clean beauty brand, which I love. I've been more on the clean beauty train in terms of skincare, but it would be nice to find a nice clean foundation, you know, because that sits on my skin just as long as some of my skincare sits on my skin. You know, if I'm wearing foundation for a full day, it's sitting on my face for 8 hours. I sleep for like 8-9 hours. I love sleeping. It has avocado oil, which is very moisturizing. Meadow foam oil, which is plumping. We love ourselves a good plump. Red raspberry oil, which is reparative. Jojoba oil. I love jojoba oil. It's super soothing, especially for those of you out there who have sensitive skin like me. Camellia seed oil, which is nourishing. And then rosehip seed oil, which I also love, which is known for its brightening properties. I have very dry skin, sensitive skin, and I am almost 30 years old. I have never had any work done on my skin, and this is what my skin looks like. And you can feel there's like a ball in there, you know, like how nail polishes have those little balls in there to shake up the polish. This has something in there. This is what it looks like. It has a little, almost like eyedropper. That's what it reminds me of. Wow. Oh, wow. That's very runny. Okay. So that looks a little dark for me, but my face is a lot lighter than the rest of my body, so I feel like it'll just even me out. Okay, this is very, very liquidy. And I don't really think I applied that in terms of drops. It kind of just came out like a river. It's mixing really well with my sunscreen, which is so exciting. I mean, do you guys ever apply a foundation over top of your sunscreen or your serum or your primer and it kind of just like pills everywhere? This is not pilling. 1, 2, 3. That looks about the same amount as before, so I'm gonna say I used about 3 drops. The only thing is I'm very scared of this like getting all over me. I feel like it's gonna run off of my hand and onto my clothes. So if you're gonna use this, just be wary that it could kind of go everywhere. This has really nice coverage. Okay, so when I put it on the back of my hand, I was a little nervous that it was a little too golden, but I think it blended into my skin really nicely. You can see my scarring is poking through. I have some pimples along my jawline that are still very visible, which is fine. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of concealer to just cover those up and make the overall look a little bit more full coverage. In terms of shade matching, you don't need to be spot on because this is a very light to kind of teetering medium coverage, so you don't need to get the exact shade of your face because your skin is gonna poke through, it is gonna sheer out, so it will kind of match even if you choose something that's 1 to 2 shades off. I am noticing that it is clinging to the dry patches on my face, which I don't know if you can see, but around my nose I have some dry patches, so it's kind of adhering to that dry skin over here. I don't know if you can see, like sitting on top of my dry patches here. I also have troubled skin over here. So it's kind of just, can you see that like dry patch of skin right there? It's not sitting nicely in the sections of my face where I have dry skin. I feel like this will look better throughout the day. Let's hope so, but we shall see because we are doing a full day wear test. I'm gonna speed through the rest of my makeup here with you guys. Okay, so I have my full face of makeup on. I noticed quite a few things while applying the rest of my makeup. Number one being that this skin oil, skin tint, does not pair well with a sponge. So as you guys saw, I went ahead, I applied my concealer, and then I went in with a damp beauty sponge. I used a beauty blender and went to go stamp that out, and it kind of was picking up the skin tint, the skin oil, as I was blending it out. So I went back in, decided to use a brush, and decided that I would use a brush to apply my cream bronzer, the rest of my concealer, my cream blush. A sponge sucks up the product and kind of lifts it away from the skin. And I also noticed that if I were to touch anywhere before setting it with powder, it would lift up that skin tint as well. It kind of sat on my skin for a while there. I'm curious to see if it does decide to sink into my skin at some point. Right now, I feel like it's definitely still sitting on top of my skin. It feels really nice on my face. It's not too heavy on my face. It's kind of unbelievable because there are so many oils in it, but again, it's just not sinking in as much as I would hope that it would. Because it is an oil, and I feel like oils have thicker molecules in them. It's not as easy for them to sink into your skin. It's not as easy for those molecules to penetrate into your skin, which is why whenever you do your nighttime skincare routine, they always say to use an oil on top last. And that's because it kind of just locks everything and kind of sits up top. And it is still really sitting on top of my troubled areas. I am going to be wearing a mask throughout the majority of today, so we will see how this holds up with a mask, which I'm not excited because, like I said, it is kind of just sitting on top of my skin, and right now if I just touch my face, it kind of lifts the skin tint off. So I will see you guys in a little bit, and I want to say excited, but I'm really scared to see how the rest of this wear test goes. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, so we are 4 hours in. I think my skin looks really nice. It has a nice sheen to it. I don't think it looks greasy. I definitely look dewy. Very, very comfortable. I really like how this skin oil feels. It's just very nourishing, feels nice. However, I'm going to pop by a window, give you guys a little bit more of natural lighting. You can still see my imperfections. Again, this does not have a lot of coverage. I would say this is definitely light to a little bit medium. You can see the pimples along my jawline. You can see my redness. However, I think overall it looks really nice. I think it just looks like my skin but better, which is kind of the vibe that I was hoping for. Say hello to Peter. This is my parents' cat. He is a super sweet boy. This is my 6-hour check-in. But as you can see, I have been wearing a mask. So the skin tint, the skin oil has definitely been fading around my mouth wherever the mask lays, leaving even less coverage. My 7th hour check-in, I'm doing this one in the car, so, there's nothing hiding from this camera. You can see it all, my friend, but as you can see, like I said, the skin oil has definitely left the majority of my nose as well as my chin. It stayed put in terms of my forehead because there was nothing touching my forehead to pick it up. You can see the redness in my nose is poking through, the redness along my jawline, the redness on my chin. I still think it looks nice. It kind of accentuates my pores a little bit. So if you were someone that has deep pores, I would not recommend this. But overall, I think it gives a really nice natural glow to my skin. Okay, so 8 hours in, I wanted to use the back camera of my iPhone because I feel like it really shows you the texture. So guys, I have really textured skin. I have a lot of bumps, especially around my mouth. So I wanted to just show you the texture that is poking through. Again, I don't think it's awful, but you can definitely see it. You can see the dry patches on my nose. 9 hours in, I'm using the back camera of my iPhone in front of my beauty lights because I feel like this really shows you where this tinted oil has left my face. You can see the remnants of my concealer, like any of the patchy coverage around my mouth is concealer. So the oil has essentially left my chin, it has left my nose. However, I think my forehead looks really good. The oil has stayed there. It did not move into my fine lines too badly, which is always an A++ in my book. But yeah, I think overall, even though it has faded throughout the majority of the lower half of my face, I think it faded really gracefully, really nicely because again, this doesn't have a lot of coverage. So it doesn't really look like I'm missing makeup unless you are like zoomed up and this close to my face, which most people are not ever this close to my face, thank God, because I would have a total anxiety attack. I have been wearing this for a little bit over 9 hours now, and I have a lot to say, but I don't have a lot to say, and I feel like that happens a lot. Really nourishing, very hydrating. It really adhered to the dry patches. It still is. It never kind of like softened them and left them like I thought it was going to do. It kind of just continued to emphasize them as we move into the warmer spring and summer months. Like, I'm not going to have dry patches on my face anymore. So if you're someone that has dry patches on your face all year round, just do take note that it is going to adhere to them and kind of accentuate them a little bit more. However, it is an oil, so that's not to say that if you wear this every day, it will soften up those dry patches and kind of help them to diminish. The mask did kind of pick up a lot of this skin tint. So if you can see on my chin, the makeup's kind of gone. This section of my cheek where my mask laid, I feel like it kind of accentuates my pores. It definitely doesn't cover up any of the pimples that I have around my mouth. For me, like, my skin isn't really awful, okay? And for me, things that kind of cross products off, like never pick this up again, I absolutely hate this, would be if it really settled into the fine lines of my skin, which it really didn't. Like, I feel like out of my entire face, my forehead really looks the best because this is thin, but it didn't migrate into the fine lines in my forehead, which I have quite a few of them. It never really like totally sunk into my skin. I feel like I kind of can pick some up right now on my forehead. However, where it does fade away from the face, it's not extremely obvious because it's not like I'm wearing full coverage up here and then you can see my imperfections down here. Even where this skin tint face oil is laying, you can still see a little bit of my skin underneath it. So I think that it fades throughout the day, but it fades gracefully. Like, it still looks pretty put together. I would not load up the bronzer, load up the blush, load up the highlighter with this. This is definitely for your more minimalistic days. It very much so reminds me of the CoverGirl Face Milk. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I'll put the name of it on the screen, but it reminds me of that. However, this is a much better version of that. It kind of has higher grade ingredients, nicer oils, and it feels even lighter on the skin to me. And this one did not pill up over my SPF, which, guys, that was really like the number one thing, was if this paired well with my SPF, which I really think that it did. I will definitely be wearing this a lot, and I'm definitely gonna play around with it a little bit more. I wanna apply this with a brush, a sponge, and mix this in with my foundation to see if I can get the same kind of hydrating consistency, but one that sinks into my skin a little bit more with a little bit more coverage. So I am definitely going to play around with this, and I will let you know in an upcoming beauty roundup and give you even more of the ins and outs. For me, I'm definitely going to give this a 2 thumbs up. Yeah, I just think like if you have very deep pores, if you have acne prone skin, you're kind of going to see that poke through. If you have pores, deep pores, I would totally recommend using a pore filling primer before using this. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy this video, give it a thumbs down. Either way, let me know. I would love to hear your feedback because what you guys like and don't like really kind of steers me in the direction of what I film next. And I'm always here to show you guys what it is you want to see. Make sure that you subscribe and click that bell. I had a wonderful time as always. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, Finders. Mwah.